buddy. So I have a nice little kit with all of some of my treatment stuff in it. So it's also where I keep my Varroa Check mite wash. We tried making our own. Just buy one. It's much better. Rodney occasionally carries them, so see Rodney, and he can get you one. As you can see, this is kind of a well-used Varroa Check kit. You're going to want to definitely start checking. If you have not checked your hives, you're definitely going to want to start checking them. I know my hives in years past, I start seeing deformed wing virus probably around this time of year, end of July into August. So people do say if you start seeing deformed wing virus, your hives are hurting. It is. I have saved some of mine that have had deformed wing virus, and they've made it through winter. But this is the time, kind of going into August and September, where you're getting your winter bees. So if you're not doing Varroa checks, you can potentially have a buildup of a lot of different pathogens in your hive that can cause a lot of issues. So your Varroa check is your big thing. It has a measuring line in here, maybe the top of thought it did, or the top little area right here to measure out a scoop. It's about 1/3 of a cup of bees is roughly somewhere around 300 bees. That's what you want as far as the number of bees. I was even crazy when I first started doing Varroa checks. In my 1/3 of a cup, I used to. It's a nice level scoop of that 1/3 of a cup. A little under or a little over will get you. A little over will get you about 400 bees. A little under is probably going to be less than 300. So it's a nice level 1/3 of a scoop measuring cup. Or you can use your lid, which has a line to tell you where to go, or you can, kind of measure out a 1/3 of a cup and see where it is in here. Some people, as far as your liquid, some people are starting to use dish detergent and water. It's probably your cheapest effective way of doing your Varroa, using your liquid to get the Varroa mites off the bees. This method does kill your bees. I believe the Honey Bee Health Coalition does give you the powdered sugar method in there, but they do say it's not as effective as the mite washes with either the dish detergent and water, or what I use is alcohol. Alcohol is a little more expensive to use. I have heard other people say windshield washer fluid can also help get the mites off your bees to get a more accurate count. So I usually fill this up probably 3/4 of the way. So obviously I need more alcohol. I will strain more so to try to preserve my alcohol until it gets really gross to where I really can't see stuff in it. So I'll strain the mites out between uses so that I can reuse and just have to partially fill this up with alcohol. At least my husband gave me extra alcohol, because otherwise this wouldn't have worked.
So can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So we just assumed that our bees probably do have them, so we went ahead and treated them already.
Okay.
Ideally, we probably should have checked before we treated and then checked after we treated. How far in between?
I've always had that question. I'd probably say a week or two, just to kind of give them a time to settle down and whatnot. But I always had that question as well. I don't really think there was a clear answer to that.
Okay.
Some people will check their mites like once a month during the high season where mite counts start to go up.
That's like right now?
Yeah, definitely right now. So it just depends on what monitoring you want to put in with your bees. because the more information you have, the better decisions you can make, the more experience you will get kind of going, well, this is the pattern that I see with doing mite checks on a regular basis. But you should definitely do it before and after to see if your treatments are working. Because there's a lot of different treatments out there, a lot of ways you're supposed to use your products to be the most effective against the varroa mites. But I believe Rodney or whoever will be talking about varroa mites, so we'll learn a little bit more about hopefully their life cycle and stuff.
Is there a particular frame that we should pull them off of?
You want to have a little more nurse bees, so I like to take them off, not fully cap brood, but you know, like a partial frame of some capped brood, some open brood. You also want a little bit of worker, so a lot more nurse bees though, because a lot of that are going to carry around those guys. Yep. Randy Oliver had a really good podcast. What is his website? Scientific Beekeeping. He had a really good podcast where he was kind of doing, looking to see where he got the best mite counts based off of the frames that he got them from. So I believe the ones where he said we're not quite with the brood, but kind of a little further out with a little open brood, little cap brood, where a lot more nurse bees will be on there. And when I go to shake these guys, you can give a little bit of time for a lot more of the worker bees to fly out. So you'll have more of those more immature bees that are left over for you to scoop and be able to get in there. This brand new bottle. And then if somebody has a timer for timing, any timer, I think we're going to do about 2 minutes. 2 minutes of shaking.
We've only done the powdered sugar. So you like this method better? You said it's a little more accurate.
It's a little more accurate. You're going to kill bees, but we had, I believe, she might have been out of the University of Tennessee. She was a really quirky girl. She was really cute, and she actually did a study where she did the powder sugar method and actually marked some bees to see how many of those bees after using the powdered sugar survived.
Yeah.
And there was quite a big amount of die-off.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, from using powdered sugar. I mean, if you think you're caking them, like if you're inhaling all of this powder, how well your lungs do, well, they got those little spiracles on them where you're caking that up and, you know, might not do so well afterwards. All right, so I got all my stuff ready. We got a timer for 2 minutes. The other thing I like to have, you can get like a soap or a dishwash basin. I just use a plastic tote where I'm gonna shake my bees off into to be able to scoop them up in here. Yep. All right. Now time to make the bees mad.
Excuse me. You need help?
Oh, I'm good. These guys have a bunch of different entrances. Okay.
So you got sugar water or just water in the buckets?
Sugar water.
Sugar water?
Yep.
Then you push it down.
Need a lighter?
Maybe. It went out. Didn't proof it. Oh, I'm not aggressive enough.
How many times you got over there on 359?
There he goes. Got a blowtorch? Light it from the outside. Well, hopefully we'll go through this quick. I won't need it long. Thank you.
secure that.
Well, obviously, they're right there.
Those are called back doors.
Oh. They got a back door there. Side door. Lots of everywhere.
Did Bill tell you what the 1D means?
The what?
The 1D?
The 1B?
Yeah, that 1D on the box down there?
No.
Number
Defensive?
one dangerous hive.
Oh, okay.
Number one dangerous.
Well, they better not be. You're gonna go in the front. Let's see. Is all your honey up there? Just
No,
one-
that's empty.
That's empty. Ugh. Oh, poor girls.
We're suited up. Do you need help? Yeah.
All right. Not being too bad yet. We'll see.
Or it's gonna go one of two ways. Go off or get worse.
So Bill says his queen's down bottom, so that's the other thing you need to worry about when you're doing your mite washes, is not to get your queen, because that's a good surefire way of killing her. There they go. All right. I don't see brood on that one. Was she laying up here before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got brood up somewhere around the middle. What I did earlier today is I came, couldn't find the queen, so I took all the frames, shook the bees down to the bottom box, then put a queen excluder, and then put this back. The bees come up, and now you can go through your hives if you've got 3 or 4 of them. Instead of spending extra time looking for the queen, you can do this and rock on.
There it is. Now they're all buzzing me.
Unless they only got one box.
Then you have a problem. Put another one on, put it in the put it in a bowl so they come out, switch on it. Took it off, you shook them down and then it will clean, you know, that or whatever. You have one box?
Yeah, I've got to order another piece.
See, we've got that house down there, there's a little bitty baby deer sitting right there. Can you see it?
No, I can't see it. I've got cataracts. I gotta get rid of those things.
So this one has quite a bit of cat brood on it. I'm gonna look at a few more frames just to see if I have a little more open. But if I don't find a frame I like, then we'll just take from whatever brood frame we have. Just because I hear the thunder.
This particular hive the other day gave me 160 pounds of honey.
Really?
So,
So I'm probably gonna just take from this one. There's not a lot of bees on there, so I may have to take from 2 frames. This has a little bit of open brood on here. So what I'm just gonna do, shake these guys in here, which are gonna make them mad. Sorry, girls. hopefully not too many fly out, but that should be enough.
How many gallons of 160 pounds?
There's 12 ounces, 60 a pound, honey. How many gallons? 60 pounds is a full 5 gallon, so 6, 12, 18, right at 3 gallons.
3 gallons?
15 gallons. That's why I like to use the deeps.
All right. Now I got them all nice and mad.
That's what I'm saying.
I use deeps and mediums.
So I got my alcohol. I gave some time for some of the flyers to go. You can kind of see, hopefully I'll have enough in here for getting what I need. I just bump them down. Grab a nice scoop. Try to get them in there. I'm so sorry. All right, who's got the timer?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Hopefully it's on tight. And then you just shake and shake.
If you'll step up, I'll put the beehive
Go
back
put the
together.
hive back together. The mean bees, the dangerous hive. Okay. 'Cause now they're coming after me. Oh my. Oh my, Bill. It's like confetti in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to go all 2 minutes, but we'll go for 2 minutes.
Economic threshold already?
So there was a change in the threshold from Honey Bee Health Coalition. They just changed it actually not that long ago, within like the last month or two. And they went, I believe, from 3, Bill said, down to 2. I hadn't checked to see what the new threshold was. 1, you may see 1. We'd like to see none, but we may see 1 in your hive. That's probably still okay. It used to be 1 per 100 bees was okay, but that equaled your 3 per 300. So now it's a half per, So if you see 1, you're probably still okay. If you see 2 or more, it's probably, sounds like they like treating. But our goal is to not see any. Yeah, shake, shake, shake.
Well, Bill, if you got 160 pounds off that, can I have some of your mice?
Yeah.
So the funny part about the researcher who did the powdered sugar research to see how many bees died after doing the powdered sugar, she collected her varroa mites and made a snow globe out of it. It was the coolest thing ever. She did. Everybody wanted to know where she got it, and I'm pretty sure she had it personally made for her. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Make sure my lid's not going to fall off. So, there you go. Pass it around. And look at the bottom. That's where you're going to see your mites. So, that's what mites look like. If you have a really bad mite infestation, you're going to, and you start seeing them when your on the back of your bees, when you're inspecting your hives, that bee is in big trouble because they like to nestle down into around their abdomen area. Another researcher, Dr. Samuel Ramsey out of Colorado, found out where they attach and what they feed on. So they're feeding on the lymph bodies of the bee, which actually does a lot for the immune system. And there's a lot of other chemicals and vitagelin and all of this other stuff that's responsible for your winter bees and keeping them alive that long. And when they have a high mite infestation and they're getting fed on that way, they're losing all of their fat bodies in stores for the winter, and that's why your hives can collapse over the winter if they're affected by mites really bad. Not to mention all the viruses. There's unnamed viruses out there still. I know when they had all those colony collapsing. Not this past winter, but the winter, spring before in 2025. You know, they were finding a lot of viruses and stuff like that. So hopefully yours isn't a goner. So anyway, anybody have any questions? Pretty straightforward.
I got one. So you got all these hives right here. You check each and every one.
Depending on how many hives you have, what is it like? If you have a large yard, I think it would be like what, 20%? Like they're not going to check every one. Theoretically, if you have, I've checked every single one, and we're talking 8 hives. I've had probably 3 out of those 8 have really high mite counts. I've had maybe 1 or 2 with 1 or 0 mites. Everybody else has been in the middle. So I have had hives that I may not have to treat. So if you have a small enough number in your hive and you're not a big sideliner, say maybe like Butch, I don't know how many hives Bill has now. You might not be checking every single hive. But for smaller apiaries and us hobbyists, probably should. Just because there is a variation, and I have had a couple hives that did really well, and it gives you an idea of who might be better stock for taking queens from and rearing queens, you know, the fall and spring. So it's just good information all around if you can do it. If you're a bigger operation and you're, you know, just going through things, maybe not.
I check every hive in my.
There we
footprint.
go.
You do?
Every hive.
You got what, 60? More? Less?
No, around that, yeah.
Yeah.
My new number is 50, so I'm
Your new
getting away
number is
from
50.
75.
So he checks all of his hives.
Every hive. You never know.
How often?
I'm running treatment-free bees like Bill. A lot of mine are 0 to 2, and I don't treat. So typically with my procedure, I found out I don't have to treat continuously. I usually start treating about the end of July, and then I work on those hives. But that's me. I know somebody said something earlier, how often to treat. I noticed some of more recent Bob Denny tapes. Every time he goes into the hive, he's treating, he's testing now. If he's trying to run treatment-free bees, and so he wants to know, you know, where they are. So it doesn't hurt to do it more than once. I mean, you know, if you're in a hive, what does it take? 5 minutes to do that? You know, because that's the one thing that's going to kill your bees is the mites. And
So you check that often? Not every time you go in?
I don't. As I said, I run treatment-free bees, and
Okay.
I try to keep that low. And fortunately, Bill and I are neighbors, and he runs treatment-free bees. So even the queens we raise get to go to DCAs that have this genetics. And so, but if you're running treatment-free bees, still check them. If you got a queen that's not working, get rid of her and put a new treatment-free bee in.
This hadn't been treated in over 2 years. So,
And it shows.
so it's time to do something with it.
Yep.
Show how many on your video. Show the bottom of that.
Typically, I only check about.
I don't know if it'll show.
You might get it if it's in the sun.
I've got, 98% of my.
I don't know if the-
hives are 0 to 1.
If it'll focus.
I
Focus
know in
on it.
July they're not gonna
There he
have
goes,
mites,
okay.
so, I mean,
Yeah?
if they don't
Uh-huh.
have them
You can
in
see 'em?
July,
Yep.
they're gonna be
Perfect.
okay to come next spring. So,
Good idea.
So how many you think you got in there?
You want to count them?
It just depends on what he
Let's see.
uses.
I can't see anymore. 1, 2,
A
3,
lot of the strips
4,
are,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
infrared strips anymore.
There's about 50 in there.
30. I think there's more than 50. There's probably like 60 or 70, 60 in there.
Roxanne strips,
Because I was at
they're not a good number.
30 just with that little section right there. It's probably about 50, 60 in there.
It's frustrating because
He
we
probably will use,
kind of set this one. Yeah.
a lot of times he'll use
So other people will use inaccurate ways of looking for mites. So you're going to have mites in there, but if you have a lot of drone brood, and say you crack open your hive and it cracks open a bunch of drone brood, and you're seeing a lot of mites in those drone brood, you know, you may have a higher, not always, but probably a higher, or if you don't see any, it doesn't mean you don't have, you know, a higher than threshold mite count in there. But if you're definitely seeing them on your drone brood and you're seeing them on a lot of the cracked open drones, the pupa, then you might have a high mite count. If you're definitely seeing deformed wing virus, you probably have a high mite count. So, but anyway.
How often do you, so we scraped our drone board and switched it out to try to prevent.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to do, you think?
If you want to, like you're taking out a frame and you're scraping off that drone booth, it doesn't hurt. Some people who really love drones and want those drones out there, you know, they're gonna have opinions about, you know, using the drone boards as the integrative pest management ways of doing things, but it's not the wrong way to kind of alleviate some of that.
However you want to do it, I guess, huh?
Yeah. So some people will use the green frames. I didn't bring one, but they'll use the green frames, put it down in there for them to produce drones. They'll take it out and freeze it, give it back to them. They'll clean out all of the dead drones. When I did that, they decided to put honey in it, so they were worthless. But however, if you do use that, don't forget to take it out, because sometimes that can make a, you know, mite population increase. If you're making a nice little drone area for them, it just increases your drones, but it can also increase your mites. So there's a trade-off between all of that. So.
Unless you're running treatment-free bees.
I was also asking him about, hopefully he'll share it with everybody, about where he gets some of his bees that are a little more of that VSH. And I heard somebody else say Golden West in another group, so those must be gaining popularity.
Yeah. In fact, Bill and I worked with some this spring, some Golden West, and I've got some more coming in August. I ordered directly for him.
So are pole lines kind of going out, or are pole lines still good ones to go for?
A lot of people say the pole lines are okay. I didn't have good success with them. I don't know about you, Bill.
Sort of. Mixed.
And Bob Benny's sort of going away from them. He didn't like them. He's going with Golden West. Bob is.
Some other people, probably a little more experienced beekeepers, or ones that can handle a little bit of fight. We had the Wayne Hughes guy in here who does the Russian bees, but they can be a little more aggressive. So it just depends. I don't know like what more aggressive means. Like in my face and bumping, that tends to be more aggressive, and not being able to handle, you know, without gloves, probably a little more aggressive to me if they're just going to come and sting you. So, you know, it just depends. There's different lines and different methods for the VSH also. So, because they have shown to have a tendency to be more hygienic. And what do we decide? They're more carnelian based? The Russian
Russians,
or
I guess, I don't know.
I think they're kind of more carnelian. I never found the genus species of the Russian bees. So we keep that secret. I don't know. But anyway, so the way I, just after, again, I used to take mine out, and when I was paranoid, I used to go through all of my bees, just make sure I didn't kill my queen, you know, until I got comfortable. I don't do that anymore. I feel better. Like Bill said, you can do it the easy way and just knock all your bees down in the bottom, and the queen usually will go down with them. But the way I preserve my alcohol is I just do this. Usually the mites don't go through. Some of them did because there's a lot in there, so strain it a couple of times. Yeah, they're sticking around in there. So anyway, you can kind of do that. It's not really working this time, so if you get a finer mesh. But he had a lot of mites in there, so I try to save my alcohol if you use it. But soapy water works too.
Paper towel works for filtering.
Yeah, you can do that too. Anyway, anybody want some varroa mites? That's how big they are. You can see them.
I think I have probably enough.
They're just like a little,
So anyway, that's it.
looks like a little stone.
Can you dump them over here somewhere?
Yeah.